Welcome one and all to the modern Cton tournament, Game 6, which is going to be the last game of the group stage of this tournament. It's me, Hadrada here, commentating this one all on my own, because Suede sadly couldn't make it for today. That's not going to be all that bad though, because we're going to have a good old time just by ourselves here. I'm pretty sure we've got an incredibly stacked lobby at our hands here. Look at the players in the top right corner there. We've got, well, I'm just spectating, sadly, so and that's not the big name you should be looking for, but we've got Raptor, Cheese, Obi, some of the top modern players, of course. We've got Hoffman, Battleship, Subrata, and MJ. So there's definitely a spectrum of skill here in this lobby, but anyways, it should be pretty top heavy as I expect it to be. If Red Cheese or Obi and died earlier, that would be a pretty big surprise to me. Before we assess the map, be so kind and show a little bit of patience for me as I set up the spectating stuff correctly. Of course, I haven't really ever hosted a modern spectate, except for the Lib versus Status Homeground on my YouTube channel. You should definitely check that out if you haven't seen that yet, although I don't even remember if it was that good. Probably was though, just based on Alright, informing these guys that I haven't actually planted yet, which I should have probably done. I just wanted to score pump and move a bit more to the sides. You know me. Always very efficient with my expansion. That's what I'm known for, pretty sure. Interesting though. So I'll plant that city start of next turn, and then we'll get into the exciting analysis of what this map actually looks like and what we should be looking for early on here as the turn's about to come to a close. There we go, that should be exciting. So, what do we got? Okay, now finally we can take a look at this. Oh, one thing before we start. Cheese sadly wasn't able to select the Americans for this one, and he's gonna be forced to play with the Mexicans. It's the same player that played America in the games before this one in the tournament though, so don't be fooled by that. It's still Cheese, it's still America. Just for this one game we had some difficulties there. Alright, so what are the matchups here? We've got on this island right there, we've got Egypt, that's Hoffman, versus Cheese, that's supposed to be America, but ends up being Mexico. Very interesting land here. Look at this. Cheese got a lot of rest considering the size of his land, really. It's definitely an order angle as far as I'm concerned. I'll get contact with everybody and then we can check what he ended up going for. It's order, absolutely. You need that worker speed to clear out that marsh and that jungle, and you've got pretty decent res to make work. So I like order here. He's even got sub-cruise res. Look at this. We've got the coal here, we've got the alloy, we've got aluminum, we've potentially even got oil for him. Would love to see a canal city up here for the rest. Would love to see that, definitely. It's also a bottleneck that disables Hoff from actually even ever scouting him. I'm surprised Cheese is not moving up his king to block that bottleneck and scout with his explorer north. However, I guess he wants to keep it at home for military police and for protection against barbarians. Maybe also to pop that hut. We'll see if he ends up actually doing that. Alright, let's move across a little bit. We've got on his island all of his own. We've got Subrata on India there. I very much dislike him not planting any coastal cities. He wanted the fresh water from this inland lake, I suppose, but your capital actually works as an aqueduct, so you don't need the fresh water in your capital. So at least his capital, he should have planted on the coast, I think, because you know this is an archipelago map, so you want the coastal presence, definitely. He didn't end up going for that, but at least he's on his own island, so he's going to be able to grow a little bit in the beginning without being interfered with. On his neighboring island there, we've got Rapback down here on Nigeria against Battleship in the north on Europe. What's the rest situation looking like? We've got Iron here, that's radar artillery, for example. Pretty potent unit in modern. And we've got, oh, what government is he? He looks like he's a quality, actually. Yep, we've got the airports. We've got the outputs there. And we've got equality for Rapdak also. Interesting choice. Looks like he won't need a lot of worker moves there. He doesn't have a lot of res, although he's got uranium, so I want to see that. I do definitely want to see that marine play from him. He's in a great spot to do marine plays with. He's in the middle of the map. No enemies super nearby that would distract him. I want to see some marine action there from Rapdak's Nigerians. Second city planted turn 4 for Hoffman. That's surprisingly late. And it's not even that great, although it is a really good city. But I'm not sure I would have walked that far for it. He really wanted that aluminum in it, apparently. And Cheese now also scouting a bit with his Explorer giving up that block down here and daring to look north a little bit. It looks like Hoffman's not going to be scouting Mexico for the time being, though. Who haven't we covered yet? We've got the Arabs down here. That's MJ. Also on a land of their own, lots of rest there, but a bit spread out, so that'll take a while to connect. What government did they go for? I assume it could be tradition here. What is it? Saudi Arabia. It's order, actually. Why is it order? And why is the second city not on freshwater? But the capital is also not on freshwater, to be fair. Alright, it was a little bit low on food, I suppose. I'm not sure what she ended up scouting turn 1, but if she scouted the south, I would definitely like to see a city down here with all that bonus food. Again, not entirely sure if she had scouted that before deciding where to plant. Otherwise, this would have been a beautiful second city. I would have definitely planted that one. You've got the fresh water, you've got the coastal, you've got the bonus foods. Oh, that's such a great tile, actually. Yeah, I think that's... I think that really would have been a dream city there for me. But, well, let's cover all the other players first. We've got Obi. He's also kind of in the middle of the map on his own island, though. I wonder if he's actually able to scout. No, I don't think... No, none of these tiles end up spotting Mexico if he's exploring there. So he won't be able to see any enemies except Rapdag if he ends up scouting the western part of his island, which I'm not sure he's actually done yet. I don't think so, however. Double coastal plant by him, double freshwater, lots of food. No immediate rests. He did go equality though, so I wonder what he ended up going for. He wouldn't have selected freedom here, would he? I assume that... oh, well, let's see. Let's see what it is. It's tradition. Okay. I don't hate it. Might have gone for that go myself as well. Let's see if Raptor can actually trap that Explorer down here somehow. That would be funny. He's equality though, so he's got very slow working moves. Don't think he's gonna be able to move those around a lot in order to trap that guy. I always like to see that though. People boxing each other in. Okay, Hoffman saying he regrets not going for equality. Let's see why. I'm not sure actually. He's got aluminum. He's got that iron as well. So he's got 2 res. I'm not sure. Let's actually check because I'm not the greatest modern veteran and not up to date with all the res combos. Let's check on the website. We've got aluminum, iron, and that is it exactly. Oh, that's Power Cruise. He's got Power Cruise res. Why would he complain about that? Power Cruise with partisans alone is enough to get a few takes or kills, so I guess maybe for the early game it's looking a bit rough. But again, you've got radar artillery, you've got mini cruisers as well, of course, so I wouldn't hate that. Not sure what he was looking for though, and I guess maybe everybody being so far away makes it so he would have liked to play equality, expand a bit. Maybe that's his reasoning. I'm not sure. I don't think he's spotted Cheese yet, although that Explorer might have been within his vision. I didn't quite catch that. We'll have to wait and see how soon that interaction between the two of them is gonna commence. Raptor and Battleship most certainly already aware of each other's proximity. Hoffman still, he's even considering a late switch. It's very interesting. I encourage people to keep chatting like this and let the spectators know what's going through their head right now, because it's also really interesting for the viewers to follow along. For the veterans, just as much as for the new players who maybe try to learn a thing or two. Cheese has given up that blockade down here. He's now seeding a forest on their sugar and just going for a chop of some sort. And I would just like to see 2 more settlers. Plant a city there. Yeah. Stop jerking that screen. Where were we? Oh yeah, with cheese. Plant a city here, plant a city here, and that's it. 4 cities, you're good to go. That's an interesting little island. That's a cool city too. But yeah, Hoffman going for the late anarchy. I love it. I love a place like that. I'm not sure if it's mega big brain, but it is definitely bold and unconventional. So I love to see that. Don't think he spotted cheese yet though, and maybe that would influence his choice as well. So that's going to be a matchup to keep our eyes out for. Raptor here in the middle of the map, super mobile. He's got the marine res, he's got equality, so he can really expand and make plays in any direction. Wonder where that's gonna go. Does he want me to directly respond to him? Lol. I mean, why would I know better, right? He's definitely far more experienced, higher elo, more, well, efficient modern player than I am. So he would know better. Just letting him know that he's on his own there. What can I say? I love the memes. Maybe that's good advice for him. Okay, barbs now coming in. Let's see who didn't pay attention. Anybody looking to get caught out by those barbs? Looks like Europe has their king in position. That's nicely done. Nobody else seems to be in trouble with the barbs. So let's catch up with those governments. We've got Egypt in anarchy, so it is Hoffman switching over to equality. Equality for Europe as well. India is in order, as we already saw. Saudi Arabia in order as well. Nigeria equality, we know that. Mexico order, and tradition for Obi on Indonesia. So we've got all the governments here, don't we? No, we don't have any freedoms. All right. Got 2 or 3 orders actually. 3 equalities. About to be 4 equalities. Oh no, sorry, and that 1 tradition. So we're gonna have 3 equality, 3 order, 1 tradition. That's fine. That's a nice little mix there. So we'll see how that goes. Oh boy, let's see how that greed goes for Hoff though, as he seems to think that that is the way to go forward with his government. Okay, I can see it. I can see it. He's looking to get rolling immediately, hit the ground running, so to speak, when that government switch comes in. And here we see MJ doing a good job scouting all that area here that might potentially allow to see here the Indian borders across the ocean once they plant a few more cities and grow their borders. Could be very helpful in the mid game. Other than that, though, she has no clue where the enemies are, and that's the case for most of these people. I'm pretty sure Cheese has spotted Hoffman by now with his explorer, since it was quite far north, but I don't think Hoff has spotted Cheese yet, and all the other guys wouldn't really know where their enemies are. I don't think Obi has spotted Raptor yet either, although his explorer being on the west coast suggests to me that he might expect something coming from there. So maybe he actually has seen the Nigerian borders up there. He's not one to chat much in these kind of situations, so we're not going to get a whole lot of insight from him, I fear. Hoffman feeling very, very confident about his play, apparently. Alright, let me get that 3rd city down, maybe. Not sure if this is the correct time, but you know me, guys. I'm just going off feel here. Oops, Redback. Apparently something went on for him. I'm not sure. Oh, yep. I did not catch that, but apparently he did a good job there next to Vienna, it seems. Seems Battleship's not gonna get into trouble for that, though. And that's another city by Hoffman. Now, certainly, Cheese must have scouted in that area. Must spot him soon. I expect those explorers to run into each other sooner rather than later. And still, I don't think Hoffman is aware of his clanmate being so close by. And that's gonna be a funny reaction from him, I assume, because he must definitely respect Cheese a lot. Cheese, interestingly here, hasn't gone for the chop. He just wanted a forest on that sugar, I assume. Interesting. I guess he's good in terms of food, so that would make sense then. Ooh, Hoffman about to discover that way south, though. And it doesn't look like the barbs are going to block him either. Although that would be hilarious if they ended up shutting off that passway there. Can't wait to see when that uranium's going to be hooked. No cities yet for Nigeria is quite curious to me. So still some shenanigans going on in the north, but the explorer still evading the enemy. And wow, look at this. I just said I thought this wouldn't be happening, but there we got the barbs actually playing on Team Cheese here, shutting off that passage down there. And it's as if they knew that they were hiding from each other there. Well, just as I say that, of course, they run within each other's vision. Now both likely to be aware of each other's presence, although Hoffman, managing workers in the west, might not actually have seen the Mexican explorer up there, or just still so close from each other. I really wonder which of these guys has actually spotted the other yet. And still no settlers, I don't think, from Nigeria. Oh, I don't have the um don't have the spies out yet, excuse me. Let's get that done. That's gonna be very helpful in analyzing their builds and their military strength comparatively. So we definitely want to keep tabs on that. Let's get some spies out there. India not playing along. That's not terrible though, because they don't seem to be getting involved in any skirmishes early on here. All right. As we see another round of barbs spawning. Still the barbs blocking off Cheese. That's so hilarious to me. Why are they just sitting there, dude? I can't believe they're not actually moving as well. It's really just so bad for Hoffman, because he would certainly like to know what's going on down there in the south. If he knows that Cheese is down there, that is. And we can't really confirm that. Alright, we've got most of these scouts out. Now, still no settlers for Rabdag. I wonder what he's doing. He's got a troop ship, and I very much approve of that, of course. And still, I would have liked to see a city somewhere over here in that area. Would have been nice, certainly. And that uranium is something I like to hook early on in order to get stuff out. And as Suede has been talking about in all of his tournament casts, Marines are just so effective. The earlier the better in modern Cton. There's always enemy cities you can catch off guard. The third city coming out for Subrata, and again one off coast, so he's not really marineable, but he's very well boatable by any units that dare to land on his coast. And he can't get any boats of his own out either, so I very much disagree with that choice. Rabdag now going to the northeast, whereas Battleships actually sent his boat to the west. Good choice, he can plant cities on that island, although I doubt he'd really want to, because there's no real res within his immediate airdrop range there, which of course he doesn't know yet. So good job doing some early scouting there, as we finally see Rabdag dropping a settler, and not going for the uranium yet. He's going for a pretty good city though, down there in the south. If you guys don't know, incense in modern is bonus food. 2 bonus food actually, so really good tiles there. If you irrigate those, that is 4 food. Both of these desert tiles, very unintuitively. Rabdag continues to sail around, of course. He doesn't know that Obi is down there, but he's actually going for the northeastern route. Let's see where he ends up going with that. If he ends up spotting Cheese and or Hoffman. And that's, of course, a Nuba meetup up there waiting to happen. As Cheese gets a better sense of what Hoffman's got going on at home. He sadly for him, he couldn't know that Hoffman was in anarchy that second time. He didn't know. He didn't have contact with Hoffman before, so he wouldn't be aware of that second government switch having occurred. Oh, and Hoffman thinks that's actually a ship landing him there. How unfortunate is that? He actually thinks that it was a ship dropping off that explorer. And if you're in his shoes, why wouldn't you assume that, right? The barb spawning down here, probably just on the southern tip of your land, right? Nothing much to worry about down there, is there? Oh boy. Ah, it's real unfortunate for him, because he now thinks that there's a boat nearby. So most people end up with their first troop ship sending an explorer with 1 or 2 partisans. So he thinks he needs to do some work in order to cover his cities. And Raptek now with his boat actually coming over. That might give Hoffman some headaches. We'll see about that. Raptek about to plant down there. Still, I like that city, but I would love the early uranium that much more. So many easy early pickings with those Marines. Although on this particular map here, it doesn't appear like it. Contrast this with the first game of the tournament where Obi won the game as Indonesia, and Suede was constantly complaining about his greedy play. This time around, Obi, lots more drafts, way less empty cities there. The tradition build much safer than his freedom build was in that game. Excuse me, as I'm beginning to lose my voice. Hoffman now discovering how huge his island truly is, and that might give him an idea of potential neighbors. I don't think he spotted that galleon, that troop ship, coming on over from Raptor. So is he going to get caught off guard with that? I don't think so. He's fortifying his 2 important cities. These are, of course, not immediately rangeable, so that shouldn't give him too much trouble early. Let's check in with some other players here. We've got the Arabs in the south, still on 2 cities. If you've got that much land for your own self enjoyment, I don't think staying on 2 cities for so long is good, especially when you have this great city spot here. Make a settler in Riyadh or Jeddah. You can drop it off the same turn on this tile. It's 3 tiles away from both your cities. Super easy to defend, super easy to plant. This is the best city ever. Please. But it looks like MJ's looking to plant here or here. Likely here, I guess. Well, it's not a bad city. I just think you've got better ones nearby. In the south as well, pretty good potential on a city there. So I don't agree with the early expansion from MJ. I think Suede has emphasized this a bunch of times, but you really need to make sure that you don't fall behind the curve in terms of expansion. You take the free score that comes along with that, right? It's imperative that you keep expanding along with whatever plays you're looking to make. And since you're not making any plays there as MJ right now, expansion should be the #1 priority as far as I'm concerned. Looks like Redback now able to pick up those barbs and block that passage again. Let's keep track of where everybody's boats are. Battleship scouting the west, not having found any enemies yet, but Rabdak very much has. He spotted that Egyptian border. And let's see if he thinks about dropping something off there. Cheese swoops through again, spotting Hoffman's king. He immediately moves that one back home, which is a wise choice. I like the amount of units he's got now. He's drafted sufficiently in order to be fine for whatever ends up landing him here. Rapid going for yet another city. It's a good city there, of course. Not on freshwater, but on the coast. So I guess... Ooh, what is this? Look at this. This is supposed to be a sea tile. Suede, what have you done to your map? I want to formally distance myself from the creation of this map. This is not happening in hard radar tournament maps. Which is the biggest jinx ever, and I'll almost certainly live to regret that, but you know, you need to put pressure on yourself sometimes. That's what it's all about. Anyhow, looks like Redback, yeah, calling his play. I like to see it. Looking to boat Hoffman there. I don't think it's gonna have a terrible impact there on the Egyptians. Should be able to draft again. Don't think he's gonna be making another settler out of Cairo this turn. Wonder if Hoffman's gonna plant that settler this turn. I'm not sure it's got any moves left, but that city going down would almost certainly sway Redback to go in a different direction with a boat. So we'll have to see if Hoffman plans that this turn. He's doing a good job delaying it if he's planning on planting it this turn though, so I like that. Don't plant your cities too early, guys. And Redback about to drop his units off there on his capital, it seems. There he goes. That's more partisans I would have expected. Let's see how this goes for Hoffman. Size 7 Cairo, he immediately begins to reinforce, but there we go. Hit coming through from Raptor. Can Hoffman get enough units in there in time before the city ends up going down? It doesn't look like the city's low, but the promotion was clutch. And he just barely holds on to the city. Alright. Good job, Hoffman. Well, it's not a big investment by Raptor, but it is a sizable amount of partisans spent on attacking Cairo there. The reinforcements almost not quick enough there by the Egyptians, but able to stave off the attack. 3 units remaining from Nigeria means that's still going to be to clear out there. You're not going to be able to hit into that for quite some time there as Hoffman. And if somebody else was looking to boat you right now, you might get into some real troubles. However, it doesn't appear to be the case, as Cheese has chosen the frigate over the troop ship. He's taken a bit of a slower approach. This one would like to see sub-cruise plays from him eventually here, as battleships also closing on in with his very much not battle-equipped ship. And he's going to be scouting Hoff and Cheese's island as well. Hoffman now feeling compelled to go wartime. I don't hate that choice, because it does appear to be a game where people just love to be on you if you're Hoffman. For some reason, right? Because his spot doesn't look that vulnerable here in the north of the map. Not all that open. But apparently, fate would just have it this way with him. Whereas, ironically, the players in the very middle of the map, Rapdag and Obi here, left all alone. For now, nobody having even spotted them yet, pretty much. Let's see if I can get that spy down. Cannot, but oh, guys, I apologize for missing that. Raptag apparently just went for the rehit and lost that city. Poor Hoffman. Guess I'll save the game to be safe, but oh, I didn't even think about it was a possibility still. Couldn't he have drafted? I wonder what went on there oh yeah, I need to call the scores, I guess, yeah. Whew. Hoffman not too happy about that, it looks. I gotta let everybody know though, these city takes, I think that's my job as the host here. While he's thinking about gifting King, I'm not gonna be that guy about it. We'll see how that goes. And what the community reaction will be if he ends up going through with that, which of course we don't know yet, but still, shouldn't do that typically. Still, should just wait this one out, ideally. But I guess if he doesn't feel like, again, I'm not gonna be that guy to make a fuss about that. Doesn't look like anywhere else any plays are going on, so let's keep on looking here how this one plays out. Battleship, yep, he's not landing anything. Cairo's still on fire, but that is, yeah, Hoffman looking for a way out of this one. Redback playing it slow, he's not taking that king. At least not yet. We'll see if he ends up going for that. Maybe he's looking to get a few more cities out of this first. If he plays it smart, there could be a potential for some more score from him. And Hoffman, I'm not sure with the numbers here, but I was told if Hoffman just got like 3 points or something out of this game. He was locked into the finals. So, just hurts to see him apparently about to go out as first guy here. Although, Repdeck hasn't taken him yet. So we'll see. Might still lose that combat, right? That's across the river. You're not even guaranteed to win that with one partisan attacking into that king. So lots of considerations could go into this one for Repdeck. We'll see what he ends up doing there, though. Maybe he's gonna try for the end of turn. Who knows? Still no uranium hook there for Redback. He only has that oil. I wonder if he's gonna be making anything with that. Hoffman maybe trying to retake Cairo. Not sure about that. He doesn't have a whole lot of units, so I don't think that's going to be happening for him, especially with the reinforcements that Nigeria has brought over. Let's just save end of turn in case we get some shenanigans here. Repdeck looking for the city first. I very much agree with the play. Hoffman gets a unit out of it now, though, and he ends up losing the attack there. Repdeck does. He loses this one, too, and the promotion for the king as well. What are we witnessing here, guys? Oh, and Hoffman with the dukes. Oh, the ankle breakers here. And now he attacks into Cairo. Just barely doesn't have enough units for it. That would have been the massive coup in this one. At least he wins this one. And what a turn of events here. Let's just save, because that was a bunch of important rolls that I would hate to have to redo. That was some funny stuff between these guys, and that's exactly what I said. Attacking across this river here for Repdeck isn't a surefire kill. Hoffman with the promotion, able to save his king. We'll see how that goes. Thinking twice about opting out of this one immediately. And I wonder where Repdeck's planting. He's about to plant on the uranium now, fair enough. Not a terrible city either. So finally those res are going to be hooked, it seems. Finally coastal cities coming out for the Arabs, which is fine too. I don't hate those. I still think this would have been the obvious choice for me. But you know, Hoffman now thinking that not gifting over all these points is the better choice for him, and Repdeck still thinking he wants some more points out of this one and not take the free kill, so to speak, that's being offered to him right now. Let's see if he can get the hit off onto Shubra el Kema. He's moving on with he's moving in with the partisans towards Giza first, gets taken out there. He's now trying for the kill onto Hoffman, and he loses again. Oh, what is this? What? Now the heli comes into Cairo. Maybe we should check the... my lord, what the hell? That's still, he even has the radar tower. True. Oh, what's going on there for Repdeck, really? He's been played with. Interesting city choice for the Europeans there, looking to hook that oil. I don't think he's got the vision on that rubber, is why he's planting it there. Still, it's a pretty good res city. Let's see, maybe investigate Cairo to check for the amount of units in this one. 3 units, that should just barely be enough to hold there, so... Interesting. Oh boy, Hoffman really negative about his luck here. It's Cton, and you know how Cton goes. Sometimes everybody is on you, and sometimes you're just left alone for the entire game. We've all been there. We've all been there. Nobody enjoys it, of course. As Cheese is now looking to plant north, apparently. He maybe wants in on that action, but I don't think there's going to be a whole lot more action to be had. Maybe Hoffman tries for the re-attack onto Cairo. But Repdeck has enough to defend that, so that would almost certainly mean Hoffman being taken out here. As another militia comes out onto the king. Is he gonna attack into that though? Doesn't have that many units. He's just 45 for now, and that radar tower here also supposedly should have a big impact for Rapback, despite not really having made a dent yet. Also being planted, that now gives Battleship vision of that rubber as well. And with rubber, oil, and iron, he's now already got 3 res within range. Well, that should be well enough to do stuff with. I wonder if more action goes down in Cairo right now. I don't think so. Rapback now also spotting Cheese's boat. He hasn't, however, spotted his board. A good move there. We just missed that barely, but dodged the frigate bombard from Cheese as well, and he's now celebrating himself for that. Cheese now out with the troop ship too, so he doesn't want to miss out on that. He wants to get in there, Egypt, and that's a good idea, judging by how bad this has been going for Hoffman. Wonder what he's talking about with Battleship, because I don't think Battleship's had any boats here just yet. Oh, that's what he's saying. Interesting. Well, we don't even know if Battleship is in wartime yet, or he doesn't know, rather. But that's true. Suede has talked about this, and that's something that a lot of people, including Battleship apparently, don't realize. Out of wars in the Cton are a really rare commodity that you should prioritize if you're given the chance. Let's see what Cheese got in that boat there. I assume he's maybe bringing a draft infantry or 2. As the turn ends, Rapback able to capture that city. Alright, just making sure I let everybody know Hoffman now moving out onto that mountain with the king. Oops. What is Cheese saying? What is Cheese saying? 25 rad. I assume rad. Oh, down here. Oh, I totally missed that. Okay. Let's get a save in as well. Nicely done there by Cheese. That's what I said. The early boats, and that's the continuous trend of this tournament. Early boats keep getting rewarded. That's a dream scenario there for Mexico. They get the size 1. Don't even have to capture and defend that city. Just 3 points for him, really. This city just keeps looking better and better as time goes on. The 4-apart plan really wasn't it there for the Arabs. I wonder why they didn't just go for this one here. Would have been 3 apart as well, and Coastal 2 could have kept that forest. Remember that was oh, now it's just the plains. It was a forest there, so I have to question that city placement from MJ. As still Obi left all alone in the middle of the map here. He's loving his game state right now. He's not getting in on the early action with the points, but that should be the least of his worries. Let's see if Rapback's trying again for that king, though. It's elite, apparently, so it must have won another combat. I must have missed that. Out comes the boat from Cheese, though. The paratrooper drop onto Alexandria. Again, a lost combat for Rapback. He can't get lucky there. 25 points now for Cheese of Nigeria, actually. Interesting. So now Rapback also down 1 city. And he definitely pictured that whole affair playing out differently in his head. He really got unlucky there. Just imagine he'd gotten that kill onto Hoffman's king. Plus 25 Mexico of Nigeria. Okay. Good play there by Cheese, of course, to recognize he wants to get in on that. 2 people fighting. Don't want to miss out there. And that king here, the elite king on the run. Don't think it's gonna make it very far. Could still save it with a boat out of Alexandria and park it next to me. That would be kind of fun, right? Just take the king and drop it on the spectator island or something. That would be funny. I would approve of that. Without question. Don't drop, please. Let's just keep on saving every once in a while during these very eventful turns, so as little action as possible is being lost. Lots of cities for India there. And see that, I just consider this an overexpansion for India. Not all of these cities are great. It's good cities, don't get me wrong, but not all on coast, not all providing crucial res, not all with tons of production, and it's 4-city elimination in Cton. You really might end up regretting that later on. Now, Egypt and Mexico at war. We'll see who ends up getting that king up north. I think Cheese has spotted it. So let's see if he's actually able to kill it too. Another city plan comes out for Obi, and Europe drops another paratrooper, so that must just be a settler. Raptag now trying for Giza. Let's see how this roll goes. Badly again, and I think he must have attacked again, so that is just incredible. And the king runs away as well. This is just the wildest goose chase I've ever seen in a CIV3 tournament. Jeez, if you had just cleared this unit, you could now, with an infantry, walk through and kill that king. What are we watching, guys? Yeah, Raptag really not loving his spot now. And I can imagine how frustrating that must be for him. Hoffman as well, of course, but Hoffman's probably parted mentally with this game long time ago. Raptag was still holding out hope to get off to a good start here, and he's lost a whole lot investment here for just 50 points. Hoffman patting himself on the back there for the memery. And now we've got Europe and India being aware of each other. That's going to be interesting. Europe also going for a lot of city plans. Him being equality though makes it way easier to defend all of those. So I don't dislike the expansion from him, as opposed to India really spreading themselves far apart. They just don't have the units for all those cities, do they? Let's check in. Oh, we don't have the spy on them. Goodness sake. Let me get that spy down, please, Subra. Mate. What is this? Alright, guys, we'll try again sometime. Another city goes down for Obi. What is this, guys? Indonesia being left all alone. At least Cheese has now spotted him. So that'll give him an idea. He knows that Obi is one of his formidable opponents here that he should take care of. The sooner the better, really. Wonder if he's going to be able to do so now. He's going to try to take out Hoffman's king. Let's see if he's going to be able to do that. Yes! There we go. Hoffman goes down. And in comes the drop. I don't think we got that save off, did we? Let's check in with that. No. Dang it, guys. Oh, that would have been so good. At least we can, it was start of turn, we can reload without Hoffman because he didn't lose any more cities. So that is fine. Yep. We'll cut it here for the reload. And then we'll be right back without you even noticing that we were gone. With the kill on Hoffman, Cheese now is at plus 75 points, Raptag on plus 50 points. The game continues here. Last turn, Subrata just finished his wonder, the order wonder that gives 2 free technologies, so that is a big one for him. He's gonna be starting, I guess, building something. I wonder what he got with that, but he only has iron as a resource, doesn't he? So he doesn't have a lot of choices. Oh no, up there is the uranium as well. So let's consult the website actually. What is iron and uranium? It's RPG troopers, unit that I absolutely hate. Tactical nukes, so he can go for subcruisers as well. But of course that is very late in the game. And other than that, not a whole lot of incredible units. I guess just regular marine plays are still a good option for the Indians here. Wonder what their game plan actually looks like. We've seen a lot of exploration out of battleship here, as the Europeans now scattering around that Indian coast. It's also landed on the island that's currently occupied by MJ, who has lost that one city to Cheese's boat from earlier, if you recall. Obi's still unbothered here in the middle as tradition. Would be surprised if he even was wartime already. Look at this though, he's on 2, 4, 6, 7 cities. About to, no, that's not a settler there, never mind, but still, he's about to hook that coal up north as well, it seems like. And Cheese is looking to throw a wrench into that plan. Maybe he's gonna get blocked by the workers though. Let's see if he can get a proper landing off. He's gonna move in with that boat very late. That was very late, but yeah, he I guess maybe he thought twice about that. Not sure what exactly went on. Maybe he was distracted somewhere else. Anyhow, we now have that awkward border between Nigeria and Mexico that we're gonna need to permanently keep tabs on. Another city going down for Europe. That's Venice up here in the north. So Battleship with a lot of expansion. That's gonna be a lot of score for him. He's got a couple of res as well. Gonna be able to colony that rubber most likely, and then maybe even take the hut as well. So he's in pretty good shape in terms of res and everything. RPG Trooper, as we said, now coming out for India. I just don't think that is a very good unit, but well, maybe that's the best thing he can make for now. The pollution in Delhi suggests to me that he already got that factory in there. Reasonable choice. He wasn't really occupied doing a whole lot else. And in the meantime, we see Cheese with the oil, the coal, the aluminum, and the uranium. He's got a whole lot of res. I wonder what he's going to be going for. I would love to see some subcrews just because I think that's such a cool unit. However, as the players start dropping in this one, as fewer and fewer players remain, that is going to be that much less effective of a weapon. All right, where do we expect the next kind of big conflicts? I would say in this triangle right here between India, Europe, and Nigeria, I expect a lot of action to go down. Seems India is shifting a lot of military up north, potentially fearing landings by Europe. Let's see if Cheese is still trying to make stuff work onto Obi. Doesn't look like it, now that he has announced his arrival with that boat at the start of this turn. He doesn't go for it. Seems to think twice about it now. We got that first veteran special force from the Tradition Wonder, which I very much like. Amphibious unit there gets the job done that Marine sometimes can't do. Way better stats than just a regular Marine. India and Europe now fighting, it seems. So I wonder where those two are going at it. And that's an ironclad coming out from India. Troopship now as well. I like the transition onto the seas now, and that you can see he's very late to the party in terms of naval play, and that's due to his first 3 cities that he planted not being on the coast at all. Well, no, I guess Kanpur was. So the initial 4 cities were not coastal ones, and that really set him back on that naval exploration game. Even the uranium about to be hooked for Europe as well, so Battleship 2 gonna manage to secure 4 resources: rubber, oil, iron, and uranium. I'm not sure what all of the possible unit combinations those are. It seems Indonesia is now bombing, maybe with an artillery striking that galleon, or maybe he actually attacked into it with a boat. Didn't catch that. Whatever went on there. Let's see if we can get better intel from the military advisor. So there's no bombers or artillery, so it must have been a boat or a cruise, but the boat is the much more likely option. Good RNG for Cheese in that, if that is the case. Henley at Chennai end of turn. Where the hell is Chennai? It must be India, right? Alright, and that could be absolutely disastrous for Sabrata, as it seems he doesn't have a lot of units nearby. In come the paratroopers. Let's see if he can get anything in the city. No, the pre-queued moves into Kanpur. Oops. The pre-queued moves into Kanpur make it impossible for him to even reinforce that. And that's it's going to be announced to everybody. Red Black with yet another city take. That's 75 bonus points total for Nigeria. Keep in mind, though, that he's already down one city here, Kema, which he had taken before, and then lost to Cheese. Cairo also still in a weird limbo there, where we don't know who's going to come out on top of this engagement there. And now he's taken a city well beyond the enemy lines, so he's opening himself up to quite some pressure. Good news for him, India isn't very mobile. They don't have any two, or do they? Let's actually check before we spew any fake news. I think those are two movers, actually. Yep, okay, so they do have two movers in the form of these RPG troopers. Now their uranium is cut, though, because they can't road through Chennai anymore. So that very much decreases their flexibility with resources. Only being able to work with that. Oh no, even the iron is cut, so no resources at all in his cap at this point. He's gonna need to work fast to get that back. I don't know if he's gonna be able to succeed though, because all these airports from Nigeria, out of all these cities, Reptag is able to lift one unit per turn into Chennai, so that should be a very difficult retake, and without any cruises or anything of that sort, I don't see him succeeding. This could be near game-ending loss there for Sabrada. Wasn't expecting that, but the RPG troopers just weren't distributed well enough, and now he's even leaving that city Kolhapur empty on the side. It seems like he's really getting desperate, sending stuff over, trying absolutely everything he can to recapture the city. I don't think he's going to be able to make it, and if he does, he's opening himself up to so much threat from the east now. Oh, I don't like to see that. Arabia, Europe, not exactly sure what's going on there. Must have been a boat, maybe. Frigate over here, as we can see, maybe tried for the bombing. Battleship apparently able to move away as the frigate comes out from Obi Sound. Now, slowly we see everybody making contact with each other, getting those war declarations, and the cruiser coming out from Mexico is gonna assist Cheese if he wants to make any more naval plays. Let's see if Mexico was able to hold on to that troop ship. He was. He's got 2 troop ships remaining, so he's still got a good presence on the seas, and I don't think Obi has made any boats just yet. Just that one frigate that we can see down here. So he's a bit behind in terms of exploration and naval priority. She's still down here, actually, with a boat. I wonder if he's going to wrap around and end up dropping it somewhere. He, of course, doesn't have great maps of that area just yet, so we'll see if he's able to find a good spot. This one would appear to be quite the effective landing. However, he doesn't go for it. And is he looking to go for an airbase onto Obi? Very interesting, as Reptag announces the next play onto India, and that is a surefire city take. He might even get the raise if that city doesn't grow, which I think it could grow reasonably next turn with that irrigation here. Might be a size 2 by that point. Even a bombing run coming out of Chennai must have been an artillery included there. It's just brutal for India there. They're about to lose another city, or are they? Let's see if they can do anything against that. Moving up another partisan, but there come the paratroopers. Nicely done, actually. Blocking the road as well. City gone. 25 more points as a city burns for Redback, but he'll take that any day. It's all falling apart for Sabrada here. He just planted too far apart, didn't have the units in order to cover all those cities, and then left the crucial ones empty. Good reconnaissance work there by Rabdak to know to go for these empty cities. I'm sure he had scouted those and reconned with those helis maybe a few times. That's good work on his part. As Europe keeping on expanding, hooking lots of resources here. Stockholm, Bucharest, Warsaw, all those resource cities truly gonna come in handy for him when it goes to the middle and later stages of the game. Another cruiser for Cheese. He's really investing heavily into naval priority. Looking like he's gonna be taking out battleship's boat sooner rather than later. Even has the ship moves wonder already. I do approve of that. It's one of the first things I build in every modern. I love that building. And look at the vision that he's got here. He's very well set up defensively. Of course, unless submarines end up coming through, that would be problematic for him, but he's actually the one with the subcruise res. So it doesn't look like that's going to be a problem for him in the near future. I wonder how long India is going to be able to hold on, though. Rabdak having started to move in onto Delhi, I'm curious to see where he's going to go next. He could use the heli in Chennai. I think he's just loaded it up. Could end up... Excuse me. Exactly, that's what I was going to suggest. Dang it, my sneeze prevented me from an opportunity to look good here. I was going to say he could go for the empty backline city there out of Chennai with that heli that he's just loaded up. And that would be the third city down. Remember, 4 cities and you're out. So Subrata looking like he's about to go 1 city more down. Good reinforcement there into Calcutta. I just don't think it's enough as we see Rabdak taking the city. Very nicely done there by Nigeria. And we see 3 cities now down for India. That's a good unit though, those insurgents here, look at those, they don't cost any res. And since India got that order wonder with the 2 techs, they were able to progress quite far into the tech tree already. Insurgents coming out 10-5-2, that's going to be very helpful in fighting back a lot of these Nigerian units that are still spread around his land, and potentially enable him to take back a few of his cities some point down the line. Remember, Rabdak's also down 1 city already, and he's now got 3 cities that are dangerously close to enemy lands. So I wonder if he's gonna get into hot water in terms of city loss. At this point though, it's looking very good for him. He's already got, as I forgot to make a list with how many city takes everybody has. I'll actually set that up in the background if you don't mind. Just so I have a list to go off of. Cheese has taken 3 cities. He's plus 75. Rabdak is taking 1, 2, 3, 4 cities, so he's plus 100 right now. He's looking for a drop onto Lahore. End of turn. Interesting. Let's see if Subroda has enough to sustain that. Otherwise, that would be the kill, so he's really got to make sure he holds on here. Haley coming out of Port Harcourt. There come the troopers. I'm not sure that is enough for him. It's just partisans, but they have 8 attack. He goes for the hit into Lahore, and it looks like there's just that 1 unit in there. And that is the kill. Oh, I don't think that save actually went off, sadly. Please, save. It didn't go off, sadly, so we're gonna have to reload that, but nicely done there by Rabdak. Yet another city take, and Sabrata is sadly eliminated here. So, never mind. The reload has failed. We'll have to do it again. Apologies. There we go. Nigeria takes out India. We've got our save file. Reload successful. Everything back on track. So, that being said, Redback lost 1 more Tau infantry this time around. Partisan it's called, my bad. See how much of a modern head I am. Lost 1 more partisan this time around than in the original role, but what are you gonna do about it? This took quite a while for us to set up behind the scenes, which of course you guys aren't able to know anyways. Nigeria now in a very nice situation, plus 150 for Rabdak. 4 cities off of India, 2 cities off of Egypt. So that is 150 score on top of the 185 that they have. Cheese with 75 points of his own. 1 of Rabdak right here. 1 of Mexico or one of Arabia rather down here, and then one of the king Kildare at Hoffman's. So that means we've only got 2 players right now with any additional score. Everybody else still kind of lagging behind there in the score race. And look at this. Look at this spied replan for Arab. Unit lag. What is even? I don't know. What is that? Like, is he just saying in general it's lagging, or what are we? What's going on? Let's see if there's a persistent issue. Anyways, I just want to say I don't like this spiteful replan there by Arabs. You don't have the naval prio. You already lost that city once. It's 4 apart. You can't easily defend it. You're not even equality. That's not a city I would personally be going for, especially after losing it once already. But maybe he can do a better job of defending it this time around. Still nobody attacking Obi, but that worker down here for cheese. I wonder what he's gonna try and set up with that. Maybe a look at the military advisor can help us out with that. Infantry, Red Marines, 1 helicopter, 1 subcruise, no submarines or anything of that sort yet. Can cruisers carry those though? I don't think so. Oh, it says here they have a carry capacity. That would be interesting. That can't be right though, can it? Cruiser carries subcruise? Apparently it does. Well, I learned today. As Obi is about to hook that coal as well. He's starting to look real scary with that land and all these res. Speaking of all these res, how many does he have? He's got aluminum down here. He's got coal up here. And that's it. Alright, so he's got 2 resources to work with right now. We'll see what that enables him to build real quick. Coal, aluminium, nothing. That's not a res combo for anything modern, so he'll probably try to look for something else. He's now able to spot that worker there from cheese, so that'll alert him to something at least, and he also is able to find the rubber down here, which would mean special forces, if nothing else, which is a good unit in modern, and especially in modern Cton, where you can make a lot of naval plays happen. Just in general though, very solid unit. 1072, naval amphibious attack, draftable as well. So no slouches, definitely those special forces. You can see him right here. He's getting them from the tradition wonder, as we noted earlier. Now, how is this game gonna play out? I really think this is gonna turn into, well, Clash of Titans here of some sort. As I said already, Raptor, Cheese, and Obi, all in very powerful situations here. Raptor, I guess the most vulnerable out of those, doesn't have a ton of res, although with the iron from over here, his situation has certainly improved. Maybe able to hook that. Oh no, he already has uranium at home, so never mind. That won't be all that interesting to him. But he's maybe in the most vulnerable situation. It'll be interesting to see how Battleship can get involved in that clash, though, because he has also got a good amount of cities there with res to boot. Looking like a battalion here in Stockholm already. Interesting choice. Wonder what he'll do with that. It's a 5-for-1 with a lot of HP. Typically just good against cruisers. Don't think he's necessarily about to be cruised by anyone, but well, I guess maybe he's just building whatever he can right now. And that just ended up being it for the time being. Wonder what place everybody's setting up for right now. Got another subcruise out for cheese. He doesn't have any submarines though, so maybe they are truly just in those cruisers. Or maybe he's just stacking them at home to try and keep them until the first nuclear submarine comes out. Yep, that was one shown on top of Mexico City right there. Again, wonder what that's going to be loaded into. Might just load it into a regular troop ship as well. But we'll see about that. Interesting. Really, really interesting. Although it was sub-cruise, wasn't it? It was sub-cruise, right? Yeah, it was. Oh, alright, so you can't even load that into a regular troop ship there, I don't think. That is... that's interesting. So maybe he's just keeping him around for now. Another city coming out for Indonesia. He's really want to expand a lot. If uh, various players were to attack him with Marines, he might get into trouble there. He doesn't have equality, which comes with the luxury of airlifting units around pretty much at will. Gets out a cruiser himself now, though, which is a powerful tool for defense. Look at those stats, 12, 11, 8. Great boat there. It looks like he also has that ship move wonder, because that unit has 6 moves as the base stat. So I like that investment. Always good to have in Cton Archipelago. You can see right there, Saudi Arabia doesn't have that ship moves wonder just yet. I just don't like MJ's position here. I don't think she has anything going for herself right now. Doesn't have a ton of cities. Her score situation is pretty nice, but she's not ahead of anybody. She's actually almost last, just cheese below her. And he has those bonus points, so she is currently the last of the alive players. At least though she's gonna place above India and Egypt. And that's worth something, isn't it? As apparently I am now dropping. Oh, let's hold up hope. Let's hold out hope, folks. Ah, dang it. Ah, I can't believe it. We'll have to, yeah, we'll have to reload that one again. Sorry, folks, it's not our game, really, is it? Continuing our reload odyssey, we'll see how smooth we are or aren't able to conclude this game. Still, the result is very much up in the air. Again, I'm not 100% sure on what the playoff implications are for this game. Who's still looking to make it in? Who's already eliminated? What placements do these players need in order to squeak into the finals? I'm not 100% certain on that. I just know that for some of these guys, it's probably still on the line, and every place they can climb might count. So whoever your favorite players are here, you gotta keep rooting for them. This one is still anyone's game. Just before the reload, we were talking about whose spot we liked here. Redback calling a play though, so let's first focus on that. The Tam, that is the new city there from Indonesia. Looks like he's gonna be landing it, he says. I assume that's gonna be a helicopter drop. Don't think he's gonna send a boat out of Ibadan. 3, 4, 5, 6. Although it very well could be. He has the moves for it. Still, I do believe he prefers operating with helicopters. Let's see if Obi's got enough stuff to deal with that one. If the road ends up getting blocked, that could turn out real bad for Indonesia there. So Redback might have an angle. It's a size 1 city, so that's exactly the sort of target a player like Redback should be looking for right now. He's got these 3 unprotected cities. If he loses all 3, he's out. Since, remember, he's lost that one it had taken from Hoyof earlier. So only 2 more city losses are allowed for him. The third one eliminates him. He drops with a few units here. It's just 2 troopers. He runs into the frigate with the transport and he loses it. That's a horrible loss for him. Oh, and just the 2 RPG troopers are now coming through. He moves on to Makassar and he gets that city take. Let's save for now. Good job there. That's another 25 points as a lot of cities start burning. Was that a turn skip? I don't think so. Anyways, whatever ended up happening in the east, surprising 25 Nigeria off Indonesia. Good job there by Redback. I think he's pretty much parted with the thought of of surviving this game until the very end. But if you guys recall from my MPT tournament, Rapdag is very much a player who I don't expect to look to do that anyways. He is one of those that doesn't mind dying and keeps making plays. He's gotten a lot of bonus points, 175 bonus points for him already. And now also Indonesia with one city down already. I had commented on them being a little bit difficult to defend if they were attacked from multiple angles, and they surely didn't anticipate that attack onto Makassar. A lot of luck for them intercepting that transport here, barely surviving with 1 HP on that frigate. That could have turned out horribly had Rabday gotten through with that one. However, Makassar is being reinforced by a helicopter, and that's gonna take a few turns, I assume, for Indonesia to clean up, as they're now scouting around in the south with their cruiser. Nobody really down there, a little bit of an odd spawn distribution, but that's just how these maps sometimes go. Still, I'm a bit disappointed by Europe not having gone for anything just yet. They've got a subcruise near Brussels. Do they have the resources for... Yeah, they do, of course. Of course, they have all the resources in the world. Uranium from Stockholm, so they might have nuke subs out there for all we know. Nothing yet, though, just that one troop ship and frigate. So we'll have to wait a bit longer before we see any plays from them, it appears. Nuclear submarine out from Mexico now, though. Power cruise and 3 subcruises. Jesus, a lot of power sitting at home right now, and I wonder who he's gonna look to target with that. Indonesia would be a reasonable target for him, because Obi is just the big name player in this lobby. Airbase coming out as well for Nigeria, but he's been attacked in Makassar. Doesn't look like Obi's getting the best rolls there right now, although attacking with infantry typically doesn't yield the best results in that almost. He must have assumed that city was... oh no, he had vision with the Explorer the entire time. That's almost a bit desperate. So I think at least he's able to trade back and forth with a couple of units there, but now this turn, this helicopter, it's been there since last turn. Rapdag might be able to move on to one of those backline cities for Obi. And it might start to get tricky for him real soon, as he's planting that rubber city down there in Bogor. We see the subcruise though for Cheese. He's firing at Bandar Lampung, and he's moving in with the troop ship. Does he have the unit at hand? The tradition? Oh no, he's not even tradition. He's got the marine though. Apparently he wasn't in time with the attack though. Another cruise comes out. He should certainly be able to take that. Alright, Cheese getting 25. And that's half the city limit already gone for Obi there for Indonesia. Now, again, it's the same story again as with Egypt. As soon as Red Rex starts an attack on somebody, Cheese swoops in and picks up the pieces there. Exactly. That's exactly what I've been saying there, Red Deck. Really, Cheese isn't letting you have your own piece of cake there. On over moves that mini cruise there for Obi, looking to retake Bandar Lampung, I suppose. Jeez, he fired 3 sub-cruisers there, so that was a big investment trying to clear out Bandar Lampung. He still has that 1 power cruise though, and he might have it in that troop ship. For all we know, I don't think so for some reason, but if it's in here, he might be able to, with that infantry, take out yet another city. Let's see how he goes about this. He doesn't have a lot of vision here. Drafts coming in, that radar tower coming in for Indonesia though. Obi is defending. He's barely holding on to Batam, it seems. So good job defending up there in the north. Rapdag hasn't landed anything else with those helicopters just yet. But he takes out Batam. And that's another city gone. 3 cities gone for Obi. He's gotta hate the spot that he's in right now. Any other city he loses eliminates him from this game. And MJ is gonna love this news. Again, I'm sadly not aware of which placing she needs in this tournament in order to secure the next round, in order to get into the playoffs. But it's looking really good in this game for her. Red Tag, don't drop on us. Oh, I'm trying to get a safe in. I'm pretty sure I got one. Oh, Red Tag seems to anticipate a drop though. However, let's see. As long as he sticks around, action could still unfold. Jeez. Where does he have his units? Where is that power cruise? Looks like he's got mini cruises now. I wonder why he's bringing mini cruises. Sub cruises are just that much more efficient, and any city that OB has can be ranged from the east coast with a nuclear submarine. So I'm not sure I like the mini cruises better than the sub cruises. They are just that much more practical, really. Nigeria still only down that one city. They are spread pretty far apart, but they have taken 2 more cities there from Indonesia, as we know. So that is now 100 points total for Cheese in the bonus, and 200 bonus for Rabdak, who's really not slowing down. And that's his pop-off performance right here. Cheese scouts around a bit more with those cruisers. Turn getting close to its close. And Rabdak, I just anticipate another heli drop from him, although he hasn't announced anything yet, so maybe he's just restocking on units before going for any more plays. The race is on though. Whoever takes the next city from OB, from Indonesia, eliminates him from this game. Let's see what he can do in order to try and consolidate this position. And what plays he still has left, as MJ is still largely being left alone there. The rubber colony we saw already. The skirmishers walking around for her. It's going to be another city planted in order to secure that iron. I just don't think he's going to be able to defend all of that. MJ is. So we're just going to have to wait for what she's able to do once the attacks start coming in. For now, though, everybody's still preoccupied with their opponents. We'll be doing some cruising. Oh, well, not cruising in terms of cruise missiles, if that's what you now thought. Just scouting around for more reinforcements from Red Flag potentially, as Cheese starts moving into his land from the south, and that vision is going to be quite valuable when trying to set up for the next cruise play there. As Cheese, we're going to have to keep our eyes wide open for potential further nuclear submarines. Has he made any more sub-cruises? No, none at all. Alright, so that's a burden gone. 4 sub-cruises though for Battleship. And just like he fell victim to a sub-cruise play from Saber from China in game number 2 of the tournament. Looks like he's now going to try and secure his own sub-cruise kills. We'll see who he's going to be able to take out with that, if anyone. He doesn't have any carrying ships just yet, so it looks like he's still preparing and not gone out. But as Cheese has wisely recognized, there's not infinite amount of time for you to set up plays. As soon as people start taking each other out, you're better off trying to get involved yourself. Or, of course, the other option, instead of fighting, is just to always keep on expanding, especially when you're equality. But Battleship has kind of stalled in both ways, not really gone for any plays just yet, and stopped that city placement. So he's now falling more and more behind these top scorers, as there is the helicopter landing or the paratrooper drop from Nigeria. But I think those were potentially late, although out comes the attack onto Medan. Obi scrambling to try and reinforce. I don't think all of these troopers have moves left, though. That was a little bit late by Nigeria, if I had to guess. Medan with the defensive bomber there. No, it looks like he actually had moves on all these units, and he is now taken out. Nice attempt. Those RPG troopers, I just don't think those are very good units. I'm just a hater like that. But he wasn't able to get another city take with that. That's well, a relief for Obi more than anything else, really, knowing that he has defended the next wave from Rabdak. Now probably thinking about what Cheese could throw at him next, as this is really funny. It almost looks like collusion between the two Nuba members there. They're not even fighting each other, but I agree with their choice, really. What is either party gonna do, taking one city of the other up there in the north, when you can get in on much weaker enemies and in other places? I think it makes sense the way both of them are playing, so far at least. And Battleship is really the only one that I can't really understand what he's going for right now. He's got to see that he's falling behind here. Score and then kills. MJ probably just happy to still be around here. She doesn't really have great kill angles anywhere. So her just being able to still plant a few cities and not die just yet is probably the best case scenario for her at this point. Now, what can Obi do here? I would love for him to see. I would love for him to try and recapture some of those cities, or just more efficiently maybe go for some other cities. Maybe some opponent size ones if you're able to spot them. Just because those net you bonus points, just recapturing the cities that you planted doesn't give you any points in the ranking. That's probably what he's most of all interested in. Maybe though, as Reblex sets up for another heli play, maybe defending is all that Indonesia can do at this point. I don't see much going on there for Europe. Modern Paratrooper is potent though, and Nigeria comes in with their own units here. 4 units looking to hit Palembang. Is it going to be enough? I'm not sure on it. No reinforcements possible for Indonesia, and no, they actually had enough in there to survive that attack, and Cheese had good vision of it, so he's now indirectly being informed of the fighting that's still going on there between Reblag and Obi. I would be very much surprised if Mexico wasn't looking to get that next city kill rather soon, considering the fact that Nigeria is so adamant about being the one who takes Indonesia out. Look at this, still a few RPG troopers there at home, and Marines as well, waiting to be shipped on over to the east. At this point, I really can't tell who's going to be the one to get that kill there. Nuclear submarine finally there for Europe. You can see here 1 nuke sub, 5 sub cruises, probably going for a double sub play there with 6 cruises. That is quite the punch he's packing. And honestly, with the defense Nigeria has, I don't think they've got any submarines, do they? Oh, they have 3. Never mind. Good job there. They really got to be scared. And since they're not attacking any of Obi's ships over here, maybe Rapnak is just defending himself against potential European boating. If so, that is very intelligent, and that might save him from that sub-cruise play that is about to hit him. Well, at least we think so, because that would be the obvious opponent to go for if you're Europe. And, well, you don't know where his king is, or just cruising into Cap with a bunch, and then maybe a few into Kano, just because the inland cities are oftentimes cities where people keep their their kings rather. Maybe that could be enough to get the kill already. He's moving on back a bit with the cruisers, so I assume he's maybe got a submarine or something over there he's looking to guard. Does he have anything more? Any more sub-cruisers? Maybe he's got 1 only. Maybe that's his play again, waiting until he's got a few more of those. He's got special forces now as well. Didn't know he had rubber. Oh, he's got the rubber up here, colonized, of course. Alright, it's not getting better for Obi here in the middle. People really starting to collapse in on him. Sadly, we can't track the submarine movement from Europe. That's just the issue here right now. They've got that 1 nuclear submarine, probably full. It even has a Chinook. So, quite flexible in terms of plays he goes for. He's got the airport with the paratroopers in Bucharest, so he can approach Nigeria from lots of different angles. I wonder what that's going to be looking like. She's now looking to explain us his play. I wonder what he's actually going to do there. Interesting. So, bait Samurai, go for mid-on. We'll see if that ends up working out for Mexico. Decent idea. I wonder what it's going to look like. Maybe he's going to sub-cruise into Semarang and then just... Because he doesn't have that many cruisers, does he? What does he have? He's got 3 minis, 3 sub. All right, okay. He just stocked up on those sub cruises in in Mexico City, I suppose. Not sure why his king is showing right now. Maybe be a bit more careful. You never know who's got reconnaissance on you. All right, good idea to put some units on top of that. Gotta be careful with that. He moves king on over to Guadalajara. All right. Be unpredictable with your king. I like that. Now he's moving on over. As I said earlier, with that cruiser movement, he wants to guard something. That's gonna be his cruise coming on over. Interesting to see how it's gonna be orchestrated here. Where's he gonna put those cruisers? Is it just gonna be into Bandar Lampung, or what is the play actually gonna look like? He's moving out there with a lot of special forces. He's threatening Palembang as well as Semarang. He's going on to Semarang now, but let's see. He's got those special forces in that troop ship, I'm sure. So he's gonna subcruise Medan and then special force it is what I would assume. He's got a lot of special forces even in the south here though, not making use of their amphibious attack. He's hitting into that city, and Obi's got a reinforced bit more here, it seems. He's got veterans shown on top, though. And actually, never mind that. He's held on, but now comes the real attack into Medan. He's able to clear it out. He doesn't have the moves. He does, and that should be it. Although, no, last minute the draft comes in. It just wasn't enough, and Medan falls to Indonesia. Nicely done attack play there by Cheese. Maybe I can get that saved through. It doesn't look like I can. Well, that was a very nicely done kill there by Cheese, just as he explained it. And Obi did a good job defending, even with the draft there at the end. But the special forces are just too strong there. Nicely done kill there by Cheese, able to take the other half of Obi's cities. And look at the distribution there of cities that Nigeria and Mexico have now captured. Lots of vulnerable targets, but Cheese's luxury is that he's not lost any cities just yet. With 13 turns left in this game, you have to wonder if he's gonna run into trouble. It doesn't look like it. He's still got 3 cities left to spend, so to speak, that he can afford to lose. Whereas Nigeria, Red Flag is already down that 1 city here, but has done a good job of holding on to the rest. Although, admittedly, not really a lot of threat there on most of his cities. Question now is, with Red Flag up 200 score, Cheese up 125, how, when, and where is Battleship going to get involved? Clock's ticking, so to speak. 2 nuclear submarines now done, 8 subcruisers, so he might actually be going for a 3 sub play. As with the decreasing number of players, like I mentioned earlier, these subcruisers quickly lose power. And in order to still pack a meaningful punch, it's probably reasonable to stack a few more of them. 9 really does seem to be overkill, though. If he just wants to take a few cities, I would have really liked to see him leave on 2 full boats. But of course, with submarines being invisible to us, we can't really tell where on the map he's got those boats distributed for now. I like that boat here from Cheese. Wonder what's in there, really. Might be his worker from down here. Not sure if you put that back onto the boat. I don't think so. Maybe he's still got some partisans or whatever. I'm really not sure. But he might be able to make a play happen onto Europe there at some point. Because they are probably not expecting that. Now let's see if we can finally get some Nigeria versus Mexico action. However, I really think Red Flag needs to start worrying about Europe soon. At least if he's at all bothered with that. Maybe he just accepts that he's going to be taken out by them at some point and wants to make the most out of his situation before that. Looks like both these parties are going to clash in the middle or start trading cities here. We've already seen that in another tournament game here. I think it was game number 2 as well, with people... Oh no, actually, it was game number 1 with Reaver and Obi running past each other with those 2 movers and starting to trade cities. It was quite hilarious to watch. Actually, no, it was Carlot and Obi in Reaver's land after he had died, I believe. So we'll see. how this one's going to turn out. I feel like Jesus got a lot of units on this island, so he might actually be able to just outnumber Nigeria there. And maybe those were the last points that Reptag has gotten in this game. Although it's still very early to say that, ironically, with 12 turns left, a lot can still happen here. Scoring situation, I'm almost positive MJ is going to overtake Indonesia here. Her scoring situation just looks a lot better, and Obi didn't have any bonus points. Neither does she, though. Battleship still no bonus points for himself. He's just barely ahead. Or, well, not just barely. He's quite a bit ahead of MJ, actually. And he's expected to maybe net a city kill or two as well. So he should be firmly in third place if nothing else happens. Raptag and she's really fighting for that first place still. And you gotta remember, Raptag's quite vulnerable. Could end up dying at some point here. So we gotta keep track of the cities he might lose here going forward. Still more boats coming out for Cheese. He's scouting everywhere. We don't know, of course, where people have been scouting with the submarines. We know Raptag had 3 of them earlier. I see Nigeria. He still has those 3 attack subs. So those are also somewhere on this map, hopefully guarding him a little bit from Europe. And MJ just sitting there, really waiting to be rolled over, I assume, because she doesn't have any defensive units, really. Doesn't even have any cruisers, I don't think so. She'd really struggle if somebody ended up coming on over with a major force. Looks like Raptag actually retreated with his units, though. Interesting how that works. I wonder what the play is looking... well, what the play is gonna look like there. Mini cruise out of Puebla. Going Cairo, Cheese, States. Good choice, I guess. Why just get that one city off of your doorstep? Taking that city out would really take a lot of pressure off him. Nigeria has a constant front line with him that he can just remove by capturing that one city. I think that is a good target to look for at this point, and it's still plus 25 because it is not well, it's not a city that Cheese, of course, planted. So I like the play on that side, and it might coincide actually with Battleship's attack timing onto Nigeria himself. So maybe for a third time in a row, Cheese is gonna join in on a 2v1, just attacking whoever is under pressure right now. And Europe, 3 boats, 10 sub-cruisers. When is he gonna go? He says 25. Did I miss another city take? Did I miss something? Oh, he got it! He actually just got it mid-turn. Okay. That is 150 total. Okay, lots of points being amassed here for our Nuba players. They're really having a good game here for themselves. And that's 2 cities down for Nigeria, not even a capture, since the foreign citizens have by now been assimilated. If you guys don't know the rules, a city gets deleted, gets raised, like it did in this case, if it is only 1 population and no foreign citizens live in that city. And of course, that city has lost its Egyptian citizenship long ago, and thus the citizen had been converted to Nigeria. It's a very convenient pickup there for Cheese and the Mexicans. And he's getting closer to catching up to Raptag. He still needs a bunch more city takes there. But if Raptag ends up dying at some point, maybe that goal is much more attainable than it looks like right now. Sadly, we can't see the submarine movement going on the map. That would be very much interesting to me at this stage. Both Europe and Raptag with crucial moves there. Cheese seems to just be defending with his boats right now. Has he made any more nuclear subs? So yeah, no, he hasn't. No sub cruisers there. Just that power cruise and 5 mini cruises. Wonder what target he's gonna look for next. Oh boy, this could turn out so interesting because everybody realistically has still some kill opportunities here. Combat engineers now for Europe, 26, 9, and 1, in case you didn't know. Very potent units themselves. The longbow unit model is also very pretty, as I find. Why are we saving? Is Reptech doing anything? Is something going on here? Or is he just lagging again? We can never be sure. I don't think any plays are currently going on. Maybe some cruises were fired. Who knows, really? I don't see any plays currently being called or planned. So we're really gonna have to pay attention everywhere. Looks like, speaking of paying attention, that's not what MJ is doing right now with Explorer. Probably about to lose that one to the Barbs. Unless she remembers to move that a couple of tires over. Wonder when Europe is gonna start getting active here. Still 3 nuclear submarines on the and those 10 subcruisers, 2 Chinooks as well. That's such a massive play he's setting up here. I hope he's gonna get a good amount of points with that. Nigeria only has, well, already has lost 2 cities, so the maximum amount of points you can get from Nigeria at this point would be 50. Gotta start getting involved here. Take a lesson out of Jesus' playbook there and get involved once people start dying. Is the best advice I could give players watching this one. Chinook loaded up in Bucharest. Alright, he just transported a few units in there from his capital, I assume. And he's looking to airdrop onto Nigeria sometime during this turn. Probably. Oh, well, at the end of this turn, most likely, is when people traditionally do their airdrops. Interesting. Right there, we see Mexico moving back with their cruisers. Maybe he's guarding something. I'm not sure what that would be, does he? What is he doing there? He hasn't made any new cruisers or boats. Anyways, maybe he's moving out soon, because there wouldn't really be a reason to move back with those cruisers unless you were looking to move out. Otherwise, having them there as just guards would be much more efficient. And MJ did end up losing here Explorer there. That's some free vision that he's gonna lose out on because of that. And still that 1 HP troop ship from Cheese. I think there's just probably some partisans or infantry in there, but that could prove quite powerful once these two players start going at it. Battleship and Rapdeck, that is. And I think it's gonna start going down end of turn here, as those Chinooks have been moved into that frontline city we saw last turn. 10 subcruisers. Surely that's gotta be enough to take out something. And he is quite far behind both Cheese and Rapdeck at this point, so if you want to get one of the top 2 spots in this game, Battleship, show us what you've got, really. Don't think those 9 turns are enough for him to catch up in that score, but who knows, really? It's tough to tell sometimes. Let's keep let's keep up the attention here. End of turn, Bucharest. We see the Chinooks. In comes the landing at a very curious. Is this genius? Is this genius? Did he just capture the airbase and is now gonna move stuff onto it with the Chinook? Or can you not move stuff onto air bases in enemy land? I reserve judgment because I'm massively confused. Special forces play looking to be made on to Makassar end of turn, or it was the next turn, I assume. Looks like Nigeria is probably gonna lose city soon. He's fighting back heavily against those modern troopers, but that's a lot of units being invested there. And you have to wonder if he's got enough left in the eastern cities there to defend that that colony really that he's set up in Obi's former land. He's trading favorably here, I think. So these modern paratroopers are being taken out slowly but surely. Now I wonder what the play is. More partisans being Chinooked on over. I'm not a huge fan there, really. I don't see a clear direction here behind the play from Battleship. What's going on here? Does he have the subcruisers nearby? What is he looking for? Did he lose any submarines? Perchance. No, still those three. Cheese looking for that attack onto Makassar as we've discussed. But what's Battleship doing? He really should be making more of a dent than he currently is on the Rabdag. Airbase now, end of turn, being recaptured by Nigeria. Nicely done there. Cheese moves in with just the one infantry onto the airbase. Maybe that's enough of a giveaway for the attack that's about to come in. So Rabdag's gonna be able to react. He's still preoccupied with defending in Benin, I assume, though. In comes the combat engineer. That's just... This play just isn't... It just isn't decisive enough there for Battleship. It's not well planned enough. He had vision of all of that, had it all scouted earlier, so he knew that this landing right here wasn't immediately gonna lead to anything. Maybe he thought he could reinforce that airbase out of Bucharest, but then he couldn't because it wasn't enemy land. I'm not 100% sure on that interaction. But Makassar has been taken, and that's one more city down for Rabdag. The next one is gonna eliminate him from the game. Nicely done there by Cheese now, even with the helicopter on over. He's really mobile there, despite not being quality. Lots of cities all across the map to move units from, air bases in some key locations too. And that is Mexico, another 25 of Nigeria. And he's looking to just keep on rolling there. That should work out fine for him. Nigeria still redistributing units at home. And Cheese is moving on in. He's actually already hitting into Batam. It's, well, during the attack he announces it. Great play call there. It's looking like he's actually not going to get it this turn, but he's still got a few units there, so it's not a done deal yet for Rabdag. Oh boy, he's got that Marine showing on top. That's not a very powerful defensive unit. So I see him going down next turn. Next city eliminates him. Battleship has still got a few units there. Those veteran combat engineers are no joke themselves. 4 nuke subs now for the European Union. 10 subcruisers. Just, if Rabdag ends up dying here soon, there's not going to be much more that he can do. And Rabdag actually going on the offensive now, attacking into Bucharest. But with the helicopter there, with the Chinook, those combat engineers on defense are also quite formidable force. Rabdag nicely done there, looking in his dying breath, looking to make a play to get another 25 points. It wasn't successful though. And now it looks like he's going to be taken out at Batam. Or is he? Looks like he was subcruised. Oh. Or maybe he wasn't. Oh boy, everybody just leaving. Unfortunate, guys. Alright, Cheese going for the attack onto Batam, it seems. Rabdag's play onto Bucharest has failed, apparently. And in move the special forces for Nigeria there. Don't forget, the next city that Rabdag loses is his death, and it looks like that is going to be Batam. As things stand right now, Marines aren't gonna cut it here on defense, I'm afraid. And Cheese should be looking to take that one this turn. That's a lot of special forces, but also still yet another unit there for Rabdag. RPG Trooper comes through, and nice job there, reinforcing that city. It's still not dead, and it looks as though the attack has been fought off for yet another turn there by Rapdeck. So maybe it's actually Battleship's turn to take him out. He's still got that sizable unit stack in Nigerian land. He's defended the attack onto Bucharest, and there come the sub-cruisers. Where is he hitting though? I can't currently see it. I assume it's Benin City, but it could be Lagos as well. And that's where he's actually hitting with those cruisers, it seems. Lagos is still getting cruised, and Rapdeck is not reinforcing the city right now. Kano, I assume that's just the king underneath there. Otherwise, he would be reinforcing at this point. And no, the king was actually in capital, just barely surviving there. Well played by Rapdeck, pulling it out of harm's way, but it's now out of moves, sitting in Kano. And Lagos being reinforced has soaked a lot of sub-cruisers from Battleship. Nicely done. I'll just save every now and then to preserve the rolls that we have, but it was a good attack, and in come even more sub-cruisers. Still hitting onto Lagos. He is not giving up on that play. It's not being cleared out just yet, but Benin City is apparently also being hit at this point. Can the combat engineers punch through that defense? Rapdeck is trying to reinforce. Yet another sub-cruiser is being pulled out of the pocket, but Nigeria survives this turn. Where are they going to end up dying though? At some point, surely they have to be taken out. Or do they? The combat engineers now, even almost fully having been eliminated there, Rapdeck is doing the best he can with what he's got right now, and has eaten probably all of those 10 sub-cruisers from Battleship at this point, and still no empty cities for him. Where is he gonna break though? Where is that defensive line going to be busted open? At this point, it looks like Cheese might not have the numbers to take Batam. On defense, those 5 defense units apparently just enough above all that defensive bombard that's still in this game, and Cheese retreats there off of the attack, and still Rapdeck manages to survive. And the longer he survives, the less likely it is that anybody is going to be able to pass him up in score, especially since Battleship with 5 turns left, having used up all of the sub-cruisers that he had built. That's just one more remaining for him. You have to feel like he's not getting any kills out of this game. What a disappointment for him. He's been free building for the entire time, and now dropping the last few units that he probably has able to spend. A few more combat engineers, always difficult to take out. Benin City, I don't think has an airport left, does it? I think the airport might have been taken out by those sub-cruisers earlier, and without the airport you can't lift any units in there. So I hope Rapdeck notices that and is able to build that up for the next turn in order to reinforce, because it doesn't matter if he saves his king, he's already lost 3 cities, so whichever city he loses next eliminates him from the game. PG Troopers trading surprisingly effectively still. It looks like he's got enough units around to fend off this attack. Combat engineers massively powerful, but also quote-unquote only 9 defense, so can be overwhelmed with a few units. Another settler drop, I assume, by the Europeans, although I don't see where exactly. Did he just drop more into this stack? I don't think he did, so I wonder where exactly that message was from. As the turn ends, the airport goes back up in Benin City. Good attention to detail by Rapdeck. Artillery firing into those combat engineers, not finding a lot of success for now. How is this gonna turn out for Battleship? I don't see him taking the city at this point. She's also retreating from his attack. What's he thinking about right now? He's still behind Rapdeck. Nigeria's sitting at first place here, just because they have the most bonus points. Are they going to be able to bring this one across the finish line? It would seem so. He's got 50 bonus points more than Cheese, and he's ahead in score, so Cheese would need to take 3 cities. 3 cities or kings. If he wants to pass Red in score for the first place here. I guess he's going for the re-attack onto Batam at this point. Maybe that's the best bet he has left. Bucharest with another Chinook there. Probably just keeping on dropping maybe some drafted combat engineers on top. I just don't think raw units are going to do it for Europe at this point. 3 Chinooks available, but they don't have the amount of units to actually take out cities. 5 nuke subs, but all of them are empty at this point. Just that one sub left that maybe if he finds the right city could take out Rabdak's king. But that would involve a lot of luck for him at this point. Only 5 players left in this game. Makes cruisers that much less powerful. And MJ, surprisingly, after that first city loss and replanting it quite bold and far away, actually still in this game and not looking like she's going to be taken out at any point. However, without any bonus points, she's also not going to pass any of the 4 other players that are still, or any of the 3 other players that are still currently alive in this game. So, you know, good performance there, but of course, not gonna get into those top placements. As we approach 3 turns left in this one, Cheese goes for the re-attack with some Marines this time around. Let's see how close this gets in Batam. Quite a few units in there for Rabdak still, and him having defended against Europe allows him to now focus more thoroughly on the Eastern Front there. She's now thinking about moving in with the 2 movers, but is that even worth it? You have to consider if there's a worthwhile attack. He goes in with him, and that's way more special forces than I had expected. Surely that has to be the kill on Rabdak. Or does it? We see lots of units still there. I don't think the Nigerians can hold that. He's still reinforcing airlifting units on over, but that should do it. Or should it? More RPG troopers. I don't think he's got it. That was the last unit in there, I believe. And that is Rabdak going down any moment. There we go. It just took a while. In comes the Bradley, though, and takes out the city. Rabdak now gone. That's 25 more points for Cheese, and maybe he's somehow going to be able to pass him. He needs 2 more city captures if I did my math right. Maybe he can get something done at MJ's. 3 turns left. It's not over just yet. He's planting more cities for now. It shouldn't be that big of a worry. And oh, actually, maybe with the boat still being around, that could make the difference between first and second place. Leeds is empty, of course. Cheese doesn't know that. But another subcruise being done there. 2 turns left. So if you want to make any more attacks here as Cheese, that would require you landing somebody this very turn, because next turn is the last one in the game. Now, is he gonna do it at Leeds? I almost want to tell him to try, but of course I'm not gonna interfere like that. Just that would be so hilarious if that ended up being the deciding. That is incredibly funny. He only now ends up dropping out. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get a save off here, although last time I did actually, so let's see if that is going to be possible again. Oh, him not having been dead here might have a tremendous impact on score, though. Either way, we'll see if we have to reload at all. Again, we'll see. It looks at this point like it's gonna break down though. How's this gonna turn out? Is cheese